that final we've been wanting for, the one that we've been waiting for a while since we've been in Almateran and that we've known of Solomon's father, yeah, that shit just concluded in this week's chapter. Solomon, Sheba, Wahid, Phelan, like all of them against David. You don't know how crazy amount of magicians it was going to take just to take this guy down, and it didn't even seem like this guy was even trying throughout the whole day. It was showing that, the only reason that David went over there, that he even went to kill Seta, Tess, and the rest of them. And it was like, Solomon was saying, why didn't you just come after us like that? So he was like, and he was saying, oh, it's a tribute to Elida, to the gods. And it was like saying, it's pretty funny that this is from someone coming from someone that is actually trying to kill God. It's like, oh, we're making those good. That's like saying, hey, I'm gonna murder you, but like, hey, had a good night's sleep, have something to drink, eat and all that before I put a bullet through your head, just, enjoy yourself, Level like one, like that just makes no sense to me, and it's like he's showing how sadistic he is when it was just he took off all a set of skin, bones, and made sure he couldn't even scream anymore. And he's saying like he didn't even have a face anymore by the time I was annihilating. It's like because he was one of the ones that had a divine staff, he was like, oh, I'll deal with him personally. It was just showing that it's very questionable, because what I saw of like David in the end was like, but then it's like this guy is pure fucking evil as well. It's like he's very weird. It's just like I love this part of the chapter when Wahid and Thayla's like, we know this is all supposed to be Solomon and David, but fuck it, we are going in, making sure that their child Tess does not go, without a bit of revenge. It's like when all of them are trying to do their techniques, and it's just like it's futile, and it's like even the old men that try to go against Solomon as well, they felt like they were just going to blow themselves up because they saw that, oh, we've used the limits of our stats now low, so let's try and get taken out with them. And it's like even as well with David, it seems like he was gonna like take himself with Solomon as well, and it was showing that Solomon was questioning, why does it have to be a father like you? And he's saying, everything is destiny, and saying, perhaps the way David was doing it, because if you remember from that little special chance, he said David can see the future. He can see the past, present, future. He's got that Solomon's wisdom, the original David's wisdom, and he said, whatever you do with this power, do not look at your own future. Do not look at what happens to you, your own fate, your own destiny. And that is what caused David to become what he is. I'm guessing when he got this power, he was very curious, saying, how do I die? How do I die? Like, and it was a bad outcome. He tried another one. He tried, like, infinite outcomes that he can do in his world were doing it. And perhaps maybe killing God may have prolonged his life or something. Maybe he was just doing this just to teach Solomon. It's very weird, even though he's a fucked up individual. But this could also show as well that he was that fucked up in the head at that point that he just didn't care for human life, and maybe that was his last thing to do as a father, saying, you can have my staff. Which it seems like, of all things, it's like you give him his divine staff, and it's like David's one obviously must be the most strongest one out of them all, and it just goes to show, perhaps this staff is actually the secrets to holding on what could actually activate Solomon's wisdom. This is what the thing could activate in the future, but definitely after the blows out that's showing that, it's like it's definitely not going to be all smooth sailing from here. If I remember from that chapter, like 20 chapters ago, from the start of Almateran, when we saw all of Solomon's crew, it's like you saw Wahid, you saw Ethnan, Thaylan just there in their own corner. It's like these guys are either going to have a resentment because they're going to say, oh, you got David's staff and all that, you're dead, he that murderous staff, who killed my children, who killed, my brother and his stuff. And who knows, they might even say that, maybe he's becoming tainted and he's becoming a lot like David throughout the future. We can't predict that right now, but this is definitely one of the things that is going to cause them to go into depravity, because regardless, I think even if that was the case, what I was saying with my theory right now, losing the closest thing to them is going to go forward to depravity. It's going to be the same with anyone. If any of us right here now lost the thing, whether it's like an object, a person, just anything, hobbies, anything that is, like if you lose the one thing, or even multiple things, that is the one most important thing into you in your life, you will fall. You literally fall into despair. You will literally fall into that depravity, and that is what Magi is trying to show right now. It's like, regardless of what, no matter what you can do, there will always be hatred. There will always be suffering. There will always be that stuff. And Solomon just can't get rid of it. It's generally impossible. There are some times when you need it. There are some times when you need stuff like that. Hatred and stuff like that it helps in the world, and it also as well keeps the world at balance, I feel. And it's like, definitely, this was an interesting chapter. I felt like that. It's like, yeah, like, definitely the fight could have been a little bit longer. But personally, I was fine with it. I thought that was really cool. I mean, we had been building up for this for a long while, and it felt a very interesting and satisfying end for what it was. Still a little bit short either way for that. I was expecting, a little bit longer. Like, they're going to go all in. Even like the old dudes and all that, I wasn't expecting them to do anything. They just literally went out in the chapter. But overall, I really did enjoy this chapter. I think this was a very good one like that. And its question is that, how much longer have we got in Almataran? It's like, after that, because we was going to see, the next chapter was saying that it's going to have, the secret of David's staff. Like, what? So I'm guessing that has got to be as well. And just to throw a quick little news update as well, unfortunately, there will not be any Magi next week. Unfortunately, Shinobu is taking a break, and I'm like, why? It's like, I love that Shinobu doesn't hardly take any of the breaks. I think the last real break I've gone through the series was when she probably took like around about a couple of months, 2-3 months during the Magnustar arc, and that was probably the longest wait I've ever had to see for some really great material. But regardless, it's a week. I think I can withhold the Magi greatness for like at least a week. Who knows? Maybe I might even do a discussion video for that. But for this chapter this week, I thought this was a very good one. It had some very beautiful art, just crazy fighting and all that. Definitely some interesting answers, the whole stuff that was happening with David. I personally think this is like an 8.5 to near a 9 out of 10 for Magi this week. Definitely, yeah, a little bit, fast paced, and then it is a little bit confusing here and there and all that, but after reading the chapter a couple of times, I sort of get what was coming through from this chapter. But overall, just yet again, Magi just delivering with that crazy shit, just that crazy twists and turns, and just who knows what's going to happen. But what about you guys? What do you think in the comment section down below? Are you upset that you had to wait another week though just to see some more Magis? Like, yep, we got 2 weeks to wait. I'm sorry guys, but that's all of me. I want to thank you very much for watching. As always, remember, I'll see you guys next time, and straight out Panda.